I need a nautical ensemble stitch. Can you help?
A late invitation to a dress ball, Mr. Holmes? Never go wrong as Lord Nelson.
Admiral of the Fleet is too patrician. Something much further down the ranks would serve me better.
But there's plenty of seaman's gear in the back. A patch and spike will sell the look. Just return 'em as you found 'em.
Any advice on how to carry off the disguise?
Well, avoid arg or shiver me timbers, you'll do fine.
Merde!
You remembered us from the matchbox. It pays to advertise. You're moving in the right direction.
Give me a place in the back, mate.
That's not how it's done, old salt. Been here before, have you?
Seen your mug half a dozen times, you Tasmanian devil.
There's something familiar about you. You know my rules, then?
They just slipped out of mind.
No strangers, no credit, no noise, no exceptions.
Take a hike!
They'll buy you a cream tea at Lyons or something stronger in the back. You part ways to Nirvana.
Damnation, blast, and bloody hell! Merde! Going east? Blast your eyes! Du bist ein Esser! Shovel! Tear a new earhole! You what? Bugger off!
You've got your liquor. The matches is my bona fides, all right?
Fine as far as it goes, mate, but you still owe me something.
I'm trying to lose my troubles and you put more in my way.
Just protecting my business. I got a reputation.
Take a
Can't
hike!
let just anybody back there. Now tell me what I want to hear or take a hike.
I think I remember the word you're looking for.
I'm all ears. All right then, go on through. Pipes are on the left. Remember now, no trouble, no noise.
Deranged as you are, Skerritt, I'm not surprised you seek consolation in this den of iniquity.
Interfere with me at your peril, sailor. You don't know what you're dealing with.
False. You're a vicious criminal. Fortunately for the rest of us, your competence is not equal to your intent. My brother survived the outrage at the Diogenes. Young Silverbridge is safely rescued, and the Ministry formula never left the country. Even in your brutal and senseless murder of the hapless Pratt, you lost your gun. Not a good innings for you. Consider yourself detained. You'll be hanged at Crown expense.
It's the great Holmes, is it, in that sailor gear? Go peddle your papers. The police have no proof I've committed a crime.
Not yet, but I have a witness who saw you execute Pratt. Your defeat is total. Your paramour is dead, likewise your Prussian client. The ill-gotten money has been seized along with your patron. Incidentally, contrary to popular opinion, there is no honour among thieves. Mr. A betrayed you in an instant.
Did you think you would talk me into submission? I should have done you on the Cambridge train. I didn't see the reason then, but it's clear I might have saved myself some trouble. So to all vermin.
Drop it, Scarrett. Your real trouble is about to begin.
Fine disguise, Holmes. Your mother wouldn't know you. But what's happened here? I heard shots.
Scarrett gave me no selection, Watson. He is dead by a bullet from his own gun, and disposed of. Perhaps Needham will make a half-crown from his body. What was I playing at? I should have known he would have had another weapon. Where is Mr. A, by the way?
I handed him over to the inspectors you sent. They slipped the derbies on him and let him off.
The diabolical sod is clever, Watson. He deceived you. I sent no one. Pride goes before the fall, they say. We'll get another chance at him.
I'm feeling a bit unsteady, Holmes. Might we leave?
Of course, Doctor. A wash and a stiff scotch will set us to rights. The man who tried to kill Mycroft is dead. I rather wish I didn't feel so good about it. It will pass. Mycroft must be informed. I don't relish the prospect of seeing Matron again.
Perhaps she's warmed to you.
No more than a lap rug might warm the polar cap. I'll write to him first. We'll look in on Mycroft when he returns to the arms.
Yes, so your message said. Wonderfully detailed, by the way. The Minister was most impressed. Your discretion was widely appreciated. The death of this Scarrett fellow was unavoidable. You had no choice.
I didn't think your health enough improved to attend my funeral.
Most thoughtful. Any news of his ludicrously named employer?
Major Mystery is at large.
Well, you tied up the other bits very nicely. Carter is pleased. I've heard from Silverbridge, even Lawton is chastened. You have just cause for celebration.
Mr. Holmes, you're not resting. Matron specifically warned me that your brother would overstay his allotted time. He has interfered with your feeding.
Very well, sister. He and Dr. Watson are just leaving. You may bring in that gruel masquerading as food. We only have a moment, Sherlock. I don't wish Matron to receive a bad report. My minister informs me that a certain gracious lady has requested your attendance at Kensington. Please wear a clean cravat. My thanks for all you've done.
Best not keep her waiting. Be well, brother. Watson?
My appreciation, Mr. Holmes. I don't mind saying that your account was more enlightening than the PM's. You're certain my grandson was not implicated in the travesty?
Absolutely, ma'am. The Kaiser was truly outraged by the theft. His assistance in apprehending the malefactors was invaluable.
Your sovereign and your nation are grateful for your discreet and expeditious handling of this delicate matter, Mr. Holmes. And if you will pardon the language, This mystery seems the scum of the earth.
Your language is always appropriate, ma'am.
I am ashamed of my part in this, ma'am. I trust there is no reason for the Prince of Wales to learn of it. I should think not. I regret that Bertie is far from a model of discretion in these matters. And you are not culpable, Alexandra. It was that Lawton fellow. Lawton behaved a perfect fool, your Majesty. But I was not blameless. I was so grateful when he cleaned up the awful mess Prince Eddie made. I don't believe I could have denied Lawton anything he asked. Perhaps I was flirting a little. Still, it was most unwise to have sent such a photograph. I apologize, ma'am. Ancient history, my dear. Think no more of it. This story need not leave this room at any time soon, Mr. Holmes.
Indeed not, Your Majesty. The public, the police, and most of the government shall remain ignorant of the entire matter. The formula is secure. The composite has been recovered. Most of the villains have paid the ultimate penalty for their crimes. I'm sure one of the late Prince's charities can find a use for the Prussians' money.
Thank you. Now, indulge me for a moment more. Brown, if you will. Please assume the customary position. For services to country and crown, I dub thee Knight of the Distinguished Service Order. Arise. This honour, like the rest of this wretched matter, must remain a secret. I'm sorry.
If I have rendered service to my brother, to my country, and to you, ma'am, I am justly and handsomely rewarded.
Nicely said, Sir Sherlock. Doctor, Brown will show you out.
A grateful and generous sovereign is a fine thing, Holmes.
Indeed, but no better than a true friend. My thanks for all you did, Watson. The case has concluded, Watson. Are you near finishing your account?
I've recorded most of its events, those I witnessed and those you told me about, but the historical record demands a summary. Some issues are not entirely clear.
I am not surprised. This was a most peculiar and troubling matter.
I admired your reasoning early on that the three investigations were linked. The suppression of the inquiry and the attempt on Mycroft were in support of the theft. Nevertheless, I lost my way through the investigation a number of times.
You were not alone. I call to your attention the complexity of the conspiracy, its political, diplomatic, and military implications, the dazzling audacity of the villains, the calculated cruelty in support of treason. Is it any wonder we made a false start or two?
I must say that it did not help that you were enraged by the attempt on Mycroft's life.
I accept that criticism. My anger may have been as much of a debility as it was an inspiration. But I was not prepared for any solution to the matter which did not include the apprehension of his would-be assassin.
Fortunately, he turned out to be a person we wanted for other reasons. Are you satisfied with the disposition of the committee members?
They will answer to Mycroft. Everybody in this case but he was self-interested. To varying degrees, they were petty, mean, foolish, greedy, ambitious, vicious, or just plain stupid. Some had better reasons than others. Those will serve as mitigation.
Why did you let Lawton off so easily? The man is a self-righteous idiot who has gambled his way into debt and must make an unpleasant marriage to get out of it.
My anger is spent, Watson. Should more lives be ruined by this wretched business? I could produce the chain of evidence that would cook his goose, but royal involvement made it very fragile. He will suffer for his deeds, I guarantee it.
I suspect that you knew the composite was the crux of the case much earlier than you revealed to me.
That is a just and succinct summation, Watson. We should let it rest there.
Amazing, Holmes. Should I live 100 years, I'm sure I shall never meet your equal.
My thanks, Watson. Major Mr. A, I think, would warmly disagree with your generous praise. No doubt we shall have to deal with him in time. There was no real acquiescence in the man. He will find another cat's paw to do his bidding. I believe I could sacrifice my life gladly if such a man could be eliminated. The Bosworth emeralds have gone missing. Disappeared into thin air, apparently. Police are mystified. That's hardly newsworthy. It's their natural state.
You'll be asked to put your head to that puzzlement before too long, or I'm no judge of the skills of Scotland Yard. Speaking of which, how was your interview with Lestrade?
He's not happy. But what can he do? His corpses are identified, the crimes which caused them are solved. He's ignorant of the political implications, of course. Speaking of which, I suppose Bismarck's future is not very bright. I shouldn't be surprised to see him dismissed ignominiously in the near future. I don't know if that will be a good or bad thing for the Kaiser. Or for England.
All of Europe is tending toward a tizzy, Holmes. When the old Queen dies, there will be war, I'll wager.
I'm afraid you may be right. Fights among families are often the most bitter. Still, she's good for some years, I imagine. We will keep her confidence, won't we, Doctor?
I've taken measures, Holmes. The privacy of the royal family will be protected. For a century, anyhow. Play that phrase again, will you?